The cover of Saturn Fan Magazine features a dramatic image of a monstrous entity entwined with a sailing ship, signaling a dark tone. The magazine announces it will become bi-weekly, reflecting its growing popularity. The upcoming issue highlights a new work special, showcasing anticipated titles like Sakura Wars and Lunar, the Silver Star with guides and maps. The magazine also previews year-end, New Year serializations, covering popular titles such as Guardian Heroes, Street Fighter Alpha, and Dragon Ball Z. A major 52-page feature is dedicated to Sega Fan, providing in-depth coverage of Sega's arcade hits, including Virtua Fighter 2 and Virtua On, emphasizing the strong link between Sega's arcade and console offerings. This issue promises extensive coverage of key Saturn and Sega titles. This page features a promotion for a Sega Saturn first anniversary event held at Toshimain, highlighting various activities including demonstrations of new software like Virtua Fighter 2 and Fighting Vipers. The primary focus, however, is an advertisement for Virtua Cop, the groundbreaking 3D light gun shooter. It introduces Virtua Cop as a revolutionary title for the Sega Saturn, featuring intense gameplay, a training mode, and support for 2 players. The page prominently displays the game's protagonists, action screenshots, and the essential Virtua gun peripheral. This page brings exciting news for Sega Saturn enthusiasts, announcing a major change for Saturn Fan Magazine. Responding to strong demand from readers wanting the latest details faster, the publication is shifting from monthly to bi-weekly, starting with the December 8th issue. This change promises more pages and even more in-depth coverage every 2 weeks, delivering cutting-edge information about upcoming and current titles, like the fighting action seen in Virtua Fighter 2 or Fighting Vipers, intense racing sims like Daytona USA, and visually stunning shooters such as Darius Gaiden, all highlighted by screenshots on the page. Before the bi-weekly transition, the page also promotes a special Preservation Edition issue celebrating the Saturn's first anniversary, set to release on November 21st for 650 yen. This special issue is a supplement to the December issue and includes a super useful original CD jacket design, though the name is tentative, and a complete catalog, making it a must-have for collectors. Published by Tokuma Shuten Intermedia, the page concludes by expressing gratitude to readers and looking forward to their continued support. This page showcases exciting new releases and products for the Sega Saturn. On the left, the Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Series takes center stage, featuring striking computer-generated art of the iconic characters. Volumes 3 and 4, highlighting Akira Yuki and Pai-chan, are set to release soon, offering fans original CG artwork and music tracks. There's also a special offer to collect tickets from the packages to receive a unique Dural portrait. The series continues with upcoming volumes for other fan favorites like Wolf, Lao, Shun, Lion, Cage, and Jeffrey. Moving to the right, we see the reveal of Baku Baku Animal, a unique 3D falling block puzzle game where animated animal characters come to life. The gameplay involves strategic block dropping and feeding to launch attacks in various modes, including competitive multiplayer. It's described as an exhilarating head-to-head puzzle experience. The page also includes smaller features on 2 action-packed fighting titles, Fatal Fury 3 and Golden Axe: The Duel, both highlighted as receiving good reviews. Finally, the page concludes with a general endorsement of the Sega Saturn as the source for amazing software, promoting the console itself as being readily available. This page features an advertisement for the Sega Saturn release of Puyo Puyo 2, known internationally as Puyo Puyo 2. The vibrant artwork showcases the protagonist Arle Naja and various colorful Puyo characters surrounding the large bubble letters of the title. Released on October 27, 1995, for 4,800 yen, this version promises a significant upgrade over previous iterations. Highlighted features include the return of Manzai comedy demos, the addition of a beginner practice mode, and the challenging Tsu mode. The game also incorporates video content, recreating scenes from the first Puyo Puyo Masters tournament, and includes theme songs like Katsumi Tanaka's Zuto Soba ni Iruyo. Compile also ran a survey campaign, offering players a chance to win a Sega Saturn console. This page clearly positions Puyo Puyo 2 as a feature-rich and exciting puzzle game experience on the Saturn. This page features 2 distinct game promotions. On the left we have X Japan Virtual Shock 001 for the Sega Saturn. This isn't a typical game, but rather a music and entertainment title focused on the legendary band X Japan. It includes their latest songs and features extensive live footage from their 1994 Tokyo Dome concerts, even supervised by the band members themselves, giving fans a look into the backstage reality of X-Japan. It's out now for 6,800 yen. On the right side is an advertisement for Return to Zork, an interactive adventure game set in the classic Zork universe. The premise begins with a simple letter, drawing the player into the vast underground empire of Zork. This challenging adventure is estimated to offer around 100 hours of gameplay. It's slated for a February 1996 release, coming to Sega Saturn for 5,800 yen and PlayStation for 6,800 yen. The ad emphasizes the game's rich puzzles and deep experience, presented with full-motion video and interactive elements where character reactions are key. This page showcases two exciting releases for the Sega Saturn. On the left, we see Touge King the Spirits, a 3D racing game that models realistic mountain passes, complete with tune-up options for engines, tires, and suspension to customize your machine. It features various modes like King Battle, VS Mode, and Time Trial, and supports the Sega Saturn Racing Controller. It's announced for release on November 10th at a price of 5,800 yen. On the right side, the page features two distinct titles from different genres. First up is Gunbird, the colorful vertical scrolling shooter that was a hit in arcades. It's coming to Sega Saturn, featuring its vibrant visuals, unique characters designed by prominent artists, impressive demo scenes with voice acting, and added story and gallery modes for the home console release. This arcade port is scheduled for release on December 15th, with a price of 5,800 yen. Below that is an announcement for the latest entry in the acclaimed Shin Megami Tensei series, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner. This role-playing game utilizes the Saturn's capabilities with 32-bit graphics, featuring 2D fields and 3D dungeons. It boasts over 300 types of demons to encounter, negotiate with, and fuse, drawing from various world mythologies, along with original demons and powerful fusion possibilities. This anticipated RPG is planned for a late December release, priced at 6,800 yen. This page is all about the gripping mystery adventure game, JB Herald. Blue Chicago Blues, hitting the Sega Saturn. As the prominent headline declares, one case shakes the Sega Saturn. Players step into the shoes of Detective JB Herald, diving deep into a complex serial murder case set against the backdrop of Chicago. The game boasts impressive production values for its time, featuring over 100 minutes of live-action video filmed on location in Chicago and Hollywood. You'll interact with 29 characters portrayed by professional actors across 17 detailed investigation locations. It's designed to push the Saturn's capabilities with high-quality visuals and movie-level voice acting and narration. JB Herald is tasked with unraveling the truth, interrogating witnesses, collecting clues, and piecing together the tangled web of evidence against the clock. The game is already available now, released on 2 CRIDROMs for 7,800 yen. This page unveils Gotha 2, Night of the Sky, the sequel aiming to surpass the original Gotha. It's presented as a revolutionary simulation game, entering a new era, boasting overwhelming graphics and a grand story. Gotha 2 shakes up the standard SLG formula with several new systems. It ditches the traditional hex grid for a free map movement system, allowing units to maneuver wherever they please. The new weapon system means unit armaments change, deepening tactical and strategic options. A formation system lets multiple units team up, altering their parameters. There's an action experience system, where how you fight influences equipment growth, letting you shape strong characters. The game also promises a complete multi-ending structure, putting the drama's conclusion in your hands. The page features images of futuristic aircraft and structures, hinting at the game's setting. It highlights a voice cast, bringing the characters to life, and is a collaboration between Micronet and Koei. Gotha 2, Night of the Sky was scheduled for release soon, with the price yet to be decided at the time. This page features a 2-game spread promoting titles from Victor Entertainment for the Sega Saturn. On the left is America Ubiquedon Ultra Quiz, a revival of the popular TV quiz show. It challenges players with over 10,000 questions, many delivered with voice acting, and even features the actual show announcer. The game offers various modes like an ultra quiz battle across America, training checkpoints, and trials to test your knowledge, all depicted in screenshots showing map progression and the quiz interface. The right page introduces the King of Boxing, the Sega Saturn's first polygon boxing game. It emphasizes fluid animation and dynamic camera perspectives to capture the excitement of the sport. Players can create their own boxer in debut mode and aim for the championship in the main mode. Screenshots showcase character creation options, in-ring gameplay, and a replay feature, highlighting the game's focus on realistic action and customizable experience. Both games are advertised as being now on sale for 5,800 yen. This page serves as the cover and contents for the December 1995 issue of Sega Saturn Fan Magazine. The vibrant cover art features the main cast from the popular anime series Tenchi Muyo, highlighting an upcoming Sega Saturn game based on the franchise. Titled Tenchi Muyo, Ryoki Onsen Yukemuri no Tabi. This new entry is an adventure and simulation game, promising a substantial amount of animation, original illustrations, branching story paths, and multiple endings, which sounds like a deep dive into the world and characters. The contents section reveals major features, including a Super Express report on the highly anticipated fighting game Street Fighter Alpha, known as Street Fighter Zero in Japan. There's also a special feature dedicated to a rush of expected new titles, providing a look at what Sega Saturn owners can look forward to. The page also includes a game index listing various titles, a section dedicated to Sega's arcade games, Sega AmFan, and recruitment information for game development staff. This page delivers a Super Express report on the highly anticipated Sega Saturn port of Street Fighter Alpha, featuring striking artwork of iconic characters Ryu and Ken, alongside dynamic gameplay screenshots. The page confirms the game's impending release on the platform. The reporting confidently declares it a perfect port with no compromises, highlighting the stunning graphics that faithfully replicate the arcade experience. Players can look forward to executing powerful super combos to turn the tide of battle. While specific details like the exact release date and price are still undecided, the game is slated for a release this winter, generating significant excitement among fighting game fans for this high-quality conversion. This page delves into the extensive roster and innovative systems of Street Fighter Alpha on the Sega Saturn. Prominently featured are characters new to this era and fan favorites, including mainstays like Ryu and Ken showcasing their signature moves. Joining them are returning fighters such as Birdie and Sagat from the original Street Fighter, plus characters from Final Fight like Guy and Sodom. Newcomers like Charlie Nash and Rose are also highlighted. The page explains key game mechanics that define the Alpha series: the super combo system with its variable levels, the strategic alpha counter allowing defense into offense, and the custom combo which enables creative attack sequences. Screenshots demonstrate these characters and systems in action, confirming the Saturn port captures the look and feel of the arcade game, promising a deep and exciting fighting experience. This page features an exclusive interview with Toshio Tabata, the capable producer from NEC Interchannel, discussing their upcoming lineup for the Sega Saturn. Tabata makes a strong declaration of being part of the Saturn faction, highlighting NEC Interchannel's commitment to the console despite their background with PC Engine and PC games. The article showcases several key titles planned for the Saturn, including Birth Oz, Classmates, Classmates 2, Graduation R, and Dragon Knight 4. Tabata discusses the development status of Birth Oz and the company's strategy for adapting successful PC Engine and PC titles for the Saturn, aiming to preserve the original charm and depth while leveraging the Saturn's capabilities. Screenshots of Birth S and the PCFX version of Dragon Knight 4 are included, giving a glimpse of the visuals. The discussion touches upon the process of porting games and maintaining the attention to detail that fans appreciate, ensuring a high-quality experience on the new platform. This page kicks off a comprehensive feature on highly anticipated Sega Saturn games that are still deep in development, highlighting those we're all eagerly curious about. The main focus here is on the upcoming adventure game Sakura Wars, previewed starting on page 28, with a look at the main cast, the Flower Division. Other titles teased for future pages include what appears to be a game titled Marriage, previewed on page 32, alongside potential glimpses of Dragon Force on page 34, and Lunar Silver Star Story on page 35. The spread prominently features character art of the iconic heroine Sakura Shinguji, and introduces the 7th female character joining the roster, Ayame Fujieda. Ayame is revealed as the commander of the Imperial Combat Review, described as having mature charm and a motherly presence among the Flower Division members. Details about the game's progress indicate it's an adventure title aiming for a winter 1996 release. currently sitting at 60% completion. The article also showcases action shots of the spiritual armor Kubu mechs launching from their airship, giving a taste of the game's exciting combat elements. This feature clearly builds anticipation for these key Saturn titles. This page dives into EIRS Adventure, a highly anticipated polygon RPG for the Sega Saturn that promises an unprecedented visual style. The feature highlights the significant involvement of renowned creator Mamoru Nagano, known for his distinctive character designs, who is serving as the visual designer. The game is set in a world inspired by 17th century Europe, blending historical and fantasy elements across two distinct realms: the human-inhabited historical world and the fairy-filled sky-high world. The article introduces several key characters through Nagano's striking artwork, including Corinne de Benelux, the heroine and princess; Henry Chaser Vincent, the protagonist; Peace Undine, a sprite of water; and Blossom Segu, a powerful merchant. Early polygon renders are shown, giving a glimpse of the game's 3D environments and character models, which contrast with the detailed 2D illustrations. Development was noted to be around 35% complete at the time. Nagano discusses the challenges and vision behind bringing his detailed designs to life using polygons, and the unique romantic adventure feel they are aiming for. This page features the life simulation game Marriage for the Sega Saturn, which aims to simulate the journey from meeting a potential partner all the way to marriage. The game is highlighted as a life design simulation featuring unique systems. Players can encounter characters and build relationships, with the ability to play as either a male or female protagonist, interacting with partners of the opposite sex, which is noted as a fresh approach. Gameplay involves managing your status through various activities to improve yourself, and engaging in communication with potential partners, using a system of interactive icons representing actions like looking, talking, touching, giving gifts, and proposing. The article showcases dating scenarios with various characters, such as Shimuramami and Nakamoto Sho, demonstrating different dialogue options and character reactions that influence the progression of the relationship. Fate can also play a role, with destiny sometimes leading to unexpected but significant encounters if compatibility is high. The focus is on relationship building, decision-making, and experiencing the romance simulation aspect leading to a potential marriage. This page features updates on two highly anticipated Sega Saturn titles. On the left, Dragon Force is spotlighted, a simulation RPG that, despite facing development delays, promises grand-scale battles involving up to 200 characters. The article provides insights into the game's development progress and the staff's dedication to its unique SLG design, showcasing impressive character art and battlefield screenshots. On the right, the focus shifts to Lunar, the Silver Star, specifically highlighting its audio components. This section includes interviews with the music producers, discussing the game's memorable soundtrack, the style of the opening theme, and hinting at the upcoming voice actor casting decisions. Illustrations and album covers of Lunar music releases are also featured, underscoring the importance of music in the Lunar world. This page dives deep into the world of Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner for the Sega Saturn. It provides exciting updates on the game's systems, specifically highlighting the demon fusion mechanics and combat. A major focus is placed on the impressive new opening sequence, which blends CG and live-action footage, creating a unique and atmospheric visual experience. The page also features a character relationship chart, introducing the protagonist, the enigmatic Kuzunoha Kyoji, the heroine Kuzunoha Kumiko, and other key figures who will play a role in the story, including the mysterious Sid Davis and the powerful Mari Kuzunoha. Screenshots show glimpses of the player's home environment, the town map, and even the intriguing DDS-Net online system, hinting at interactive elements beyond standard dungeon crawling. The article teases the mystery surrounding the existence of two Devil Summoners, building anticipation for the game's release. Overall, the page conveys a strong sense of excitement for the dark and compelling urban fantasy world of Devil Summoners. This page continues the deep dive into Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, primarily focusing on the evolution of its core mechanics. It details the updated demon fusion system, explaining that while basic fusion still involves combining demons, there are now changes like the removal of light/dark alignment fusion restrictions, and the introduction of three-body fusion, allowing for even more powerful and unique creations. The article highlights special fusion types, including the Mitama for boosting stats, and the intriguing Zuma demons that grow stronger and change appearance by fusing with others, hinting at a form of demon evolution. The interface for fusion is noted as being significantly improved, making the process smoother and easier to manage. Moving beyond fusion, the page introduces the innovative stance battle system. This adds a hidden parameter to demon conversations, influencing how they react during negotiation attempts. Instead of predictable dialogue trees, the demon's stance introduces variability and tension, making conversations feel more dynamic and less like simply selecting the right options. The steps for negotiation are outlined, showing how players will engage with demons in battle to recruit them. A brief mention of past Shin Megami Tensei titles is included as a historical sidebar. Overall, the page emphasizes the depth and new features being added to the series' signature systems. This page dives into the action-packed world of Guardian Heroes, showcasing the 4 main playable characters in-game for the first time. The report highlights that while artwork has been seen before, this is the debut of Han, Nicole, Jinjiru, and Randy M. Green appearing together in screenshots, confirming the full playable cast. Details are provided on each hero's fighting style. Han is presented as a powerful physical fighter with a large sword, less reliant on magic. Nicole is described as focusing on support magic, including healing, despite having minimal physical attack power, emphasizing her unique role. Jinjiru is depicted as a nimble ninja with high mobility and numerous attacks, hinting at a technical fighting style. Randy is the magic user, capable of diverse spells and fighting alongside his familiar, Edward M. Cognac, who adds to his offensive capabilities, though Randy himself is noted as having lower defense. The article features multiple screenshots showing intense combat in various environments, reflecting the game's dynamic beat-em-up gameplay. The game's development is reported to be progressing smoothly. This page continues the deep dive into Guardian Heroes, shifting focus from the playable characters to the branching story and the paths players will take through the game's world. The article highlights that the story is not linear, with different routes depending on the player's progress and choices. It presents various locations like the factory town, a resistance village, a deep forest, and a battlefield, showcasing the diverse environments and enemies players will encounter. Screenshots illustrate key moments in these stages, including battles against large mechanical enemies, groups of soldiers, and unexpected foes like undead heroes. The text emphasizes that replaying the game to see different paths is a core part of the experience. A flowchart at the bottom visually depicts the connections and divergences between the various stages, hinting at the multiple endings and replayability offered by the game's unique story structure. This page provides a follow-up report on Battle Arena to Shinden Yura for the Sega Saturn, highlighting new revelations about the game. The big news is the confirmation that the character Kyubei Do, an original addition to this version, is actually female, contrary to initial assumptions. Commentary from the illustrator and developer sheds light on her design process, an important role in the story. The article also reports on the game's development status, noting that a sample room has been acquired and the project is approximately 80% complete, with developers discussing specific character details and progress towards the upcoming release. Screenshots showcase the game's 3D polygonal fighting action featuring characters like Eiji, Ellis, Mondo, and others. This page continues the coverage of Battle Arena to Shinden Yura on the Sega Saturn, delving deeper into the gameplay systems and introducing the main fighters. The article emphasizes the game's core concept, straightforward one-on-one fighting aiming to knock out the opponent. Key features highlighted include the multiple gameplay modes available. Beyond standard competitive fighting against the computer, IP game, or another player versus Huma, a notable Saturn exclusive addition is the biography mode. This mode allows players to experience story sequences for the chosen characters, offering insights into their motivations and background before engaging in battles, adding depth to the fighting tournament narrative. The page also breaks down the combat system, explaining that victory is achieved by depleting the opponent's health bar. It covers basic controls like movement, attacks, dashing, and sidesteps, crucial for positioning and avoiding damage. Combat relies on utilizing powerful special moves, executed via specific command inputs, and even more devastating secret special techniques. These powerful attacks are essential for gaining the upper hand and securing victory. Finally, the page introduces several key characters from the roster, including Eiji, Sophia, Duke, Kayin, Rungo, Mondo, and Ellis. Each character is presented with a brief profile, their weapon type, and visual examples of their signature techniques, giving players a glimpse into their unique fighting styles and abilities. This page shifts focus to Mobile Suit Gundam, highlighting an action game based on the iconic 1-Year War. The article emphasizes the game's direction and action as key selling points, promising a new sensation in action gaming with a focus on recreating the anime's events and atmosphere. Screenshots showcase 3D mobile suit combat, featuring classic machines like the Gundam, Zaku, and Dom engaging in battles across various terrains. Key characters such as Amuro Ray and Char Aznable are also featured, with mention of the game including memorable character lines. The article suggests the game aims for a high level of faithfulness to the source material, making it a treat for fans of the series. It touches upon gameplay elements like target locking and strategic combat, positioning it as an evolution from previous action titles. This page delves deeper into the action stages of the Mobile Suit Gundam game, showcasing the variety of environments from land and sea to air and space. It promises diverse battlefields awaiting the player. The article details several key stages directly pulling moments from the iconic 1-Year War. Stage 1, titled Gundam Stands on the Earth, covers the initial encounter at Side 7, where Amuro Ray first pilots the Gundam and meets his rival, Char Aznable, highlighting the escape from the colony and early Zaku battles. Stage 2, Breaking Through the Atmosphere, focuses on the perilous descent to Earth, featuring a major confrontation with Char and his custom Zaku, emphasizing the difficulty of atmospheric entry and the power of the Gundam's beam saber. Moving to Stage 3, Garma Falls. The focus shifts to the urban battle, where Garmazabi faces his demise, manipulated by Char's tactics. Screenshots depict intense combat amidst destroyed buildings and a large number of Zeon forces. Finally, Stage 4, Ramba Ral's Special Attack, covers the fierce battle against the veteran pilot Ramba Ral and his distinctive Gauf mobile suit, culminating in the poignant sacrifice of Ryu Jose. A commentary highlights the game's dedication to recreating these memorable scenes and character moments, making it a faithful adaptation for fans. This page provides a deep dive into the story and mechanics of the tactical simulation RPG Quo Vadis. The feature highlights that development is in its final stages, with fine details being polished. Quo Vadis emphasizes its narrative, promising an engrossing story as players navigate the initial stages. The article showcases key gameplay screens, including the intermission phase, where you manage your fleet formations and check character statuses before battle. During combat, the game features simultaneous unit movement and attack, requiring careful strategic planning. While commanding multiple fleets can be complex, the game assists by having AI control allied units, allowing the player to focus on their primary fleet. Battle sequences incorporate dynamic 2D views and impressive 3D CG movie cutscenes that trigger randomly, adding visual flair to the tactical depth. The page also notes special communication events that occur during battles, enhancing the dramatic presentation. Overall, Quo Vadis is shaping up to be a story-rich simulation game with polished strategic and visual elements. This page delves deeper into the narrative structure of Quo Vadis, titled Volume-Packed Story Mode, Detailed Introduction. It highlights the branching story paths that lead to multiple endings, emphasizing that while the main plot is consistent, minor dialogue and situational changes occur based on player choices and battle outcomes. The page then breaks down the story into 5 initial chapters. Chapter 1. Simulated Training Begins. Introduces the setting at the military academy and the initial training exercise. Chapter 2. Initial Deployment Countdown. Covers the unexpected call to action and the appearance of a mysterious fleet. Chapter 3. First Sortie. Sees the cadets face their first real combat against the unknown enemy, with outcomes varying based on scenario choices. Chapter 4. Return. Details the aftermath of the first battle and the questions surrounding the mysterious fleet's actions. Chapter 5. Anticipation of Conflict. Describes the escalation of tensions and the decision to rescue a damaged vessel, setting the stage for larger conflict. The page also provides a brief backstory section, explaining the political climate and the establishment of the non-aligned military force where the cadets are trained. Character profiles for key members like Hal, Irina, Benjamin, Sales, Adira, and Wolf are shown, hinting at their personalities and roles within the story. The screenshots throughout the section showcase the story progression and dialogue sequences that drive the narrative. This page is all about Dragon Ball Z, Shin Butoden on the Sega Saturn, featuring 27 powerful Z fighters ready for action. You'll see iconic characters like Goku, Vegeta, Majin Buu, and even Hercule prominently displayed. The core gameplay covers the basics you expect from a Dragon Ball fighter: punches, kicks, and powerful ki blasts, all controlled with command inputs for special moves. A cool new feature highlighted here is the ability to knock opponents into the background, adding a spatial dimension to the fights. We also get a look at different combination attacks and impressive cinematic special moves that consume your kid. But the most unique aspect revealed is the Mr. Satan mode. Here, you don't fight yourself. Instead, you play as Hercule, influencing the matches by betting money and using items to sabotage opponents or boost your chosen fighter. The goal is to amass a fortune, starting with a modest amount and aiming for 100 million zeni. Screenshots show the betting interface, item usage, button configuration for items, and the outcomes of your strategic interference. It's a completely different take on the fighting genre, focusing on the comedic relief champion's attempts to rig the World Martial Arts Tournament. This page continues the deep dive into Dragon Ball Z Shin Butoden, revealing the massive roster of 27 Z fighters available, which includes character transformations and fusions. The game is highlighted for not only featuring classic battles from the series, but also allowing for dream matches that never occurred in the original manga or anime, such as Hercule taking on Krillin. The character selection is broken down into groups, featuring fan favorites like Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Cell, Frieza, Majin Buu, and many more, right up to the powerful Gogeta and Gotenks. A cool detail is that character dialogue changes depending on who is fighting, adding depth to these fantasy matchups, as seen in the screenshots showing unique conversations between Vegeta and Trunks, or Vegeta and Android 18. The right side of the spread introduces the Kingdom of Saturn section, a regular feature blending reader feedback with valuable data. The main focus here is the sales ranking for Saturn, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD titles during September 1995. The top-selling Saturn game was World Advanced War Strategy Steel Wind. Other notable entries in the rankings include Layer Section, G Darius, SimCity 2000, Virtua Fighter Remix, and Magical Knight Ray Earth. There's also a brief analysis of sales trends and a mention of the current stock situation for peripherals like the power memory. This section serves as a hub for diverse Saturn-related information and community interaction. This page presents the Ranking Street section, featuring the game performance table for the Sega Saturn. It highlights that diverse genres, especially simulation and shooting games, had a strong showing this month. The table lists the top 20 Saturn games based on reader/reviewer feedback and scores. Topping the chart is World Advanced War Strategy Steel Wind, consistent with its position as the top seller from the previous page. Other notable games in the ranking include G Darius, SimCity 2000, Metal Fighter Miku, and Virtua Fighter Remix. The right side offers detailed feedback in sections titled Sweet Whisper and Bitter Murmur. Reviewers share their thoughts on various games, praising World Advanced War Strategy Steel Wind for its strategic depth and SimCity 2000 for its comprehensive simulation aspects. Some comments touch upon gameplay mechanics, graphics, and overall enjoyment, offering a mix of positive impressions and critical feedback on specific titles. The general consensus seems to be that while there are some standout games, others have areas for improvement, such as control issues or graphical shortcomings. This page continues the Ranking Street section, showcasing the top games based on reader feedback and reviews. Coming in at second place is Galactic Attack, praised by reviewers for its high-quality port to the Saturn, fast-paced action, and intense difficulty. Although some minor graphical or level design points received critique, it received a strong average score of 90%. Securing the third spot is Twinbee Yahoo Deluxe Pack, appreciated for its faithful arcade conversion, charming characters, and inclusion of extra content, making it a delightful package for fans. Despite some minor notes on presentation, reviewers generally found it a solid shooting game, reflected in its 80% average score. Topping the charts this month is Terra Diver. Reviewers highlight its intense challenge, unique lock-on system, and impressive visuals as standout features, declaring it an excellent shooting game and a must-have for the genre. Despite an average score of 71%, its top ranking suggests strong overall satisfaction among players, with many commenting positively on its depth and replayability. This page continues the ranking results from readers. Taking the 4th spot is Metal Fighter Heart Miku, a fighting game praised by fans as a faithful adaptation with impressive visuals and smooth animation, directly reflecting the quality of its source material. While some found the combat repetitive, the dynamic special moves and overall presentation were highly regarded, making it a solid choice for fans of the series despite a somewhat simple story. It received 86% positive feedback. Ranked at 5th place is SimCity 2000. Players who picked it up were generally hooked by the city-building gameplay, appreciating the updated graphics compared to its Super Famicom predecessor, and finding the core loop of developing their metropolis highly addictive. However, common criticisms included issues with the user interface, slow processing speed, and a lack of depth or features present in the PC version, leading to some mixed feedback. Overall, players found it enjoyable, despite its technical shortcomings and limitations on the Saturn hardware, with 60% of reviews being positive. The reader rankings continue, covering spots 6 through 11. 6th place went to Idol Janshi Suchiapai Remix, a mahjong game praised for its charm but criticized for a lack of depth. 7th place was Nobunaga's Ambition, Tenshoki, a grand strategy game, enjoyed for its depth, although players found battles lengthy. Masters. Harukanaru Augusta 3, a golf game, placed 8th, appreciated for its graphics, but some found the controls awkward. In 9th, Golden Axe, The Duel, a fighting game, had nice visuals but shallow combat. Steam Gear Mash, a mech action game, took 10th, suffering from repetitive missions and clunky controls. Finally, Wing Arms, an 11th place flight combat simulator, had good graphics but repetitive missions and control issues. This section details reader rankings from 12th to 20th. 12th place is Tenchi Muyo Ryuki, an anime adventure game praised for its presentation, but criticized for its pace and quizzes. 13th is Haluma Hunter Line Perfect Collection, another anime adventure, with good visuals but a predictable story and potentially high price. Blue Chicago Blues, in 14th, has a strong atmosphere but suffers from obscure puzzles. Mahjong Soldier Poemi, ranked 15th, features appealing art but disappoints as a mahjong game. Quantum Gate in 18th offers immersion but struggles with clunky controls and lack of direction. 19th place goes to Jisen Mahjong, a basic mahjong game suitable for beginners. Finally, Breakthrough, a puzzle game, at 20th, faced criticism for being repetitive, with only 42% of players liking it. This page features reader-submitted rankings and feedback for various Sega platforms. The Super 32X game scores show NBA Jam Tournament Edition at number 1, appreciated for its 4-player mode, while WWF Raw received mixed reviews, feeling too similar to its Mega Drive counterpart. The Mega Drive scores are topped by the unique Comic Zone, praised for its distinctive comic book aesthetic, followed by Eternal Champions, Challenge from the Dark Side, and The Ooze. The popular ranking highlights current and upcoming hits, with Virtua Fighter 2 leading the pack. New entries like Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, and The King of Fighters 95 show excitement for the next wave of fighting games. The desired Saturn port ranking reveals what readers want most, with surprising requests like Dukyusei at number 1, followed by popular PlayStation titles Tekken and Tekken 2, indicating a strong desire for content beyond Sega's usual library, including titles like Ridge Racer and Final Fantasy Vixen. The page concludes with reader comments anticipating various upcoming games, and a call for the community to submit their own reviews. This page features the News Dynamite section, packed with various updates for Sega Saturn fans. There's exciting news about Saturn games potentially being ported to PC, thanks to a new multimedia board called Diamond Edge 3D, that supposedly gives PCs comparable specs. Titles like Virtua Fighter Remix and Panzer Dragoon are mentioned as possibilities, which would be huge. Fans of fighting games will be thrilled to see figures from Capcom's Night Warriors. Darkstalkers Revenge are being released, featuring fan-favorite characters like Dimitri, Morrigan, Felicia, and Donovan. There's also a chance to win them in a prize draw. On the hardware front, a new high-quality color video printer is introduced, perfect for capturing impressive moments, like a screenshot from a fighting game that looks a lot like Virtua Fighter. Speaking of Virtua Fighter, the game is getting its own line of snacks that come with collectible character freebies, featuring the original cast. Other news includes results from a character design contest for the game Hibarike, and a brief mention of a Sega Saturn first anniversary event held at Toshimain Amusement Park. highlighting new software releases and game tournaments. Additionally, there's a concise summary of upcoming CD and video releases, and a list of winners from a previous reader survey contest. A small note mentions a US patent filing for a Saturn game titled Urban Legend Murder Case. It's clear the magazine is keeping fans updated on everything from ports and merchandise to events and new releases. This page is split into two main features. The left side introduces a new third-party developer entering the Sega Saturn market, Open Book Company, Limited, with a profile and interview. They are known for the popular simulation game Sim Tower, screenshots of which are shown. The interview discusses their history and future plans, specifically bringing Sim Tower to the Saturn. The right side is a major feature dedicated to Sega's internal AM divisions, titled Sega AM Fan Closing In, Big 3. It highlights key arcade and upcoming Saturn titles from AM2 and AM3. Featured games include blockbusters like Virtua Fighter 2, Virtua Cop, Fighting Vipers, Virtua Cop 2, and Sega Rally Championship. Other titles covered are Sky Target, In Body 500, Golden Axe, The Duel, Baku Baku Animal, Cyber Troopers Virtualon, Funky Head Boxers, and Manx TT Superbike. The section includes interviews with notable developers like AM2's Yu Suzuki and the heads of AM1 and AM3, offering insights into these highly anticipated releases and the future of Sega's arcade and Saturn development. A small note mentions the included CD jacket appendix. This page celebrates Sega's AM2 development division, focusing on the highly anticipated Virtua Fighter 2 release for the Sega Saturn. AM2, established in 1991, was known for player-focused games, boasting a team of over 100 and delivering arcade hits like Virtua Racing and Virtua Fighter. The page specifically highlights the Saturn port of Virtua Fighter 2, slated for release on December 1, 1995. The article praises the game's faithful recreation of the arcade experience, featuring stunning visuals and even the two-player color variations. Crucially, the Saturn version is based on the balanced 2.1 revision of the arcade game, incorporating important gameplay adjustments and bug fixes, crucial for competitive play. The page reinforces AM2's impressive track record by showcasing screenshots from their other titles, including Virtua Cop and Fighting Vipers, solidifying their reputation for quality. This page dives deeper into the Virtua Fighter 2 Saturn port, specifically highlighting the new 2P color options being added for characters. It showcases the alternative colors for Jackie Bryant, Lao Chan, and Wolf Hawkfield with screenshots, emphasizing the effort put into completing these variations. The article also compares the Saturn version of Jackie directly against the arcade version, noting the impressive quality and lack of significant difference, a testament to the port's fidelity. Furthermore, it announces the appearance of Dural as the final boss in the COM CPU mode, a welcome feature for challenging players. The page also points out other small but important details faithfully recreated from the arcade, such as the character select screen, the replay mode, the continue screen, and character win poses. There's even a note about a specific detail, with Kagemaru's win pose changing after a long win streak, showing the level of detail included in the Saturn port. Overall, the magazine is impressed with how well the Saturn version replicates the arcade experience, covering both major features like two pop colors and subtle nuances. The next page is a deep dive into the various modes available in the upcoming Sega Saturn port of Virtua Fighter 2, announcing the final release date of December 1st. It highlights that the game will feature a total of 6 exciting play modes beyond the standard arcade experience. The modes covered include the classic arcade mode for CPU battles, VS mode for head-to-head matches, and the new watch mode where you can observe CPU fighters battling it out, which the article notes was created based on user feedback. There's also the expert mode, where the CPU learns from your fighting style to provide a challenging simulation of fighting a skilled human opponent. A Saturn-exclusive team battle mode allows players to pick 5 characters for team-based matches, with settings for life recovery between rounds and even a watch mode for team battles. Finally, the popular ranking mode from the arcade is included, letting players test their skill and earn ranks up to 15th Dan, shown with detailed statistics. The page features numerous screenshots illustrating each mode, character select screens showing the roster including Jackie, Lao, Wolf, Pi, Sarah, Jeffrey, Cage, and Shun, and even the formidable final boss, Dural. An option mode is also mentioned as being under development, promising customizable controls and health settings. The article concludes with the confirmed release date, and a note about an interview with the game's producer to discuss the final version. This page focuses on Virtua Cop for the Sega Saturn, proudly proclaiming it a master-up version of the arcade classic and the definitive Saturn light gun experience. It emphasizes that while the game can be played with a controller, the true immersion comes from using the Virtua gun accessory. The page highlights the inclusion of a Sega Saturn exclusive training mode, not present in the arcade, which offers various stages designed to hone your shooting skills. Screenshots illustrate different target layouts and objectives within this mode, from simple static targets to moving and pop-up ones. The page also covers the versus modes, allowing players to challenge the CPU or another player, adding competitive depth beyond the standard arcade run-through. The reviewer clearly feels the Saturn port, especially with the gun, delivers a compelling arcade experience at home. This page dives deeper into the world of Virtua Cop, starting with tips for playing the arcade mode of the first game. It emphasizes the fun of two-player co-op, showing screenshots and highlighting the increased enemy numbers. The page breaks down each stage, from beginner to expert, offering advice on tackling enemy patterns and bosses like Kong, King, and Shotyo. The latter half features an interview with developers from AM2 Lab regarding the Saturn version of Virtua Cop and the potential for a Virtua Cop 2 port. They discuss the challenges and possibilities of bringing the arcade sequel to the Saturn, noting the technical hurdles due to the differing hardware architecture. They also share insights into user feedback influencing development, the fun of playing the Saturn version with the Virtua gun, and the exciting new elements introduced in the arcade release of Virtua Cop 2, such as high-speed vehicle segments and new playable characters. The interview also touches on the game's difficulty, the importance of accuracy, and the inclusion of hidden items and modes in the Saturn version. This page introduces AM2's new fighting game, Fighting Vipers. It's a polygon-based 3D fighter featuring characters equipped with armor that can be destroyed, increasing damage taken. Unlike Virtua Fighter, it takes place in a ring with walls, which players can use aggressively. The page breaks down key systems: guard attack, attacking after blocking; close-range attacks that change depending on how close you are to the wall; mid-air defense, allowing recovery or attack while airborne; and down attack, hitting opponents while they are down. Screenshots illustrate these moves and the impact of wall proximity on combat. There's also an interview with Yu Suzuki from AM2, where he discusses the game's development, highlighting the distinct focus compared to Virtua Fighter. He talks about character design, like the deliberate inclusion of Honey, and the emphasis on wall-based combat and aggressive tactics to create a different kind of fighting experience. The goal was a game that encourages pushing the offense and using the environment. This page dives into the moves of the Fighting Vipers roster, presenting signature techniques for 8 different characters. It showcases command inputs and multiple screenshots, demonstrating key special moves like Tokyo's spin float combos, Raxel's powerful death spin kick, and Bond's super straight with significant knockback. You also get a look at Honey's fast Honey triple combo, Grace's figure skating inspired camel spin cutter, Picky's board enhanced attacks including the board bash, Sandman's unique peach bomber hip attack, and Jane's strong power smash punch. The section highlights the characters' diverse fighting styles, emphasizing powerful hits, combos, or unique movement options, suggesting exciting and varied gameplay possibilities. The page serves as an instructional guide for players looking to master their favorite characters' special moves. This page is a guide to Virtua Cop 2, highlighting its action movie-like direction and speedy presentation. It covers tips for earning high scores by mastering skill shots, including the new 3-point shot and the justifier shot for aiming at weak points. The guide breaks down the game by stage, starting with the beginner stage focused on apprehending armed robbers and finding items, moving to the medium stage where you prevent a kidnapping by the mayor's office, noting the increase in enemy types and item locations. Finally, the expert stage challenges players to stop a subway hijacking, featuring intense firefights on a moving train and emphasizing precision shooting while protecting civilians. It also details the first boss, Bull, Bobby Louise, describing his attacks and providing tactics for defeating him by targeting weak points and shooting rapidly. The content emphasizes the importance of memorizing enemy patterns and finding hidden items for survival. This page dives into the world of AM2 research and the highly anticipated Virtua Fighter 3. The main focus is an interview with the legendary Yu Suzuki, discussing the game's evolution and what players can expect from the third installment. He touches upon the development philosophy, the idea of character growth, and perhaps a hint about new techniques like the phantom white crane style. Beyond Virtua Fighter 3 itself, the page features AM2 research topics, highlighting other releases. It announces that Virtua Fighter characters will be featured in the 1996 Sega calendar, showing off vibrant images of Sarah Bryant and Jackie Bryant. Additionally, new CG renders are revealed for the CG Portrait series, including stunning images of Akira Yuki and Pai-chan. These images are tied to the Dancing Shadows vocal album and upcoming character-specific CD singles, with announcements for the Akira chapter and Pai chapter releases. Finally, the page includes an interview with AM2's sound team, providing insight into the audio production behind their games, particularly Virtua Fighter, and mentioning their work on the Dancing Shadows album. This page provides an in-depth strategy guide for Virtua Fighter 2, focusing on the crucial importance and effective use of the crouching jab, known as Shigami P. It's presented as a fundamental technique for becoming a Virtua Fighter 2 master. The guide breaks down the crouching jab's utility, highlighting its speed, low stance, and surprisingly good range, making it an excellent tool for offense, interrupting opponents' moves, and setting up advantages. It also covers how to counter opponents who overuse this move, explaining that it's a low attack that can be blocked while standing or evaded, and specific counterattacks can be used depending on the situation. The page also includes analysis on how the crouching jab interacts with each character in the game, discussing character-specific strategies for both using and defending against it. Numerous screenshots illustrate the techniques being discussed, showing moments of successful crouching jabs, evasions, blocks, and counters. It emphasizes that mastering this simple yet powerful move is key to high-level play in Virtua Fighter 2. This page is a robust feature on the Virtua Fighter series, showcasing both fan creativity and official strategy announcements. A large portion is dedicated to reader-submitted illustrations, including imaginative costume concepts for characters from Virtua Fighter 3 like Wolf and others, and creative ideas for putting Pai-chan into different movie genres. There are also general illustrations of characters like Pai-chan and Wolf. The page also provides an important announcement regarding the final strategy guide for the game's rank certification system. It lists the challenging conditions required to achieve high ranks, such as clearing all stages quickly and successfully executing specific moves, highlighting the specific requirements for the Meijin rank. This detailed strategy will be published in a future issue. Finally, the page includes a call for submissions from readers, seeking strategies, tips, and general feedback on the recently announced Saturn version of Virtua Fighter 2, and previews the themes for upcoming illustration features. This page features a deep dive into Sky Target, the latest aerial combat game from Sega's AM1 lab. Known for solid hits like Tant Char and Outrunners, AM1 is described as a technically skilled group. Sky Target promises intense aerial combat using real CG graphics. The game structure is detailed, featuring 7 missions across 12 stages, including branching paths that allow players to choose their route. It highlights massive boss battles, some hundreds of meters in size, where players must target specific weak points. After clearing stages, there are demo scenes, sometimes changing based on your chosen aircraft. Speaking of aircraft, players can select from 4 types of real-world planes: the powerful F-14D Tomcat, the versatile F-16C Falcon, the maneuverable F-15's MTD Eagle, and the advanced Rafale M. Each has unique performance characteristics. The page also includes interviews with AM1 staff. They discuss the game's feel, noting it's closer to Wing War than Afterburner in terms of sensation. Challenges included designing the huge, multi-jointed boss models and working with polygons. There's also a look at other AM1 titles, like Tant R2 and Indy 500. This page focuses on 2 arcade games from Sega's AM1 lab. The top section covers Tant R, a minigame compilation featuring 27 different types of games. The previous issue introduced it, and this page previews the variety with screenshots showing puzzle, action, and rhythm-based minigames. The content emphasizes the sheer number and diverse fun packed into this new title, suggesting high replayability. The bottom section delves into Indy 500, Sega's high-speed arcade racer. It highlights various hidden techniques and tricks, Urawaza. These include minor things like rotating the course map during selection and accessing extra camera views, to more significant tricks like a full mirror mode and a challenging reverse driving mode against traffic. It also details special modes for the twin cabinet version, where players can influence the rolling start as a pace car. The page suggests there are many more tricks beyond the ones listed, indicating hidden depth for players to discover. The reviewer seems impressed by the number and fun factor of these hidden features. This page features an extensive interview with Mr. Nakagawa, the head of Sega's AM1 R&D department, discussing their past and future work, particularly on the STV arcade board and ports to the Sega Saturn. The interview covers the potential for KaiDRAM integration on the STV M1's efforts on the high-end Model 2 hardware, with titles like Indy 500, where they focused on speed and realism, and the challenges of porting games to the Saturn, mentioning titles such as the baseball game Final Arch and the fishing game Kajikita. The page also includes a brief interview with Mr. Oda, a planning staff member, specifically about the development of the minigame collection Sand Scorpion, Sand Aru, highlighting the variety of games included. Screenshots showcase Indy 500, Final Arch, Kajikita, the Saturn port Virtua Fighter remix, and minigames from Sand Scorpion, illustrating the range of genres M1 was involved with on the STV and Saturn. A list of released and upcoming STV titles is also present. This page unveils fascinating archive materials from Sega's AM1 division related to the Sega Saturn fighting game, Golden Axe: The Duel. It features early character designs for key fighters like Milan, Kane, Jam, and Doc, showing how their looks evolved during development. Concept art illustrates the visual effects for the game's super magic attacks, alongside a screenshot of the actual gameplay. There are also some nostalgic anecdotes from the development team about working on the Golden Axe series. Moving to the right side of the page, we are introduced to AM3 Research and Development, described as a unique and talented team carving their own path. A major focus is placed on Sega Rally Championship, lauded as potentially the best arcade port on the Sega Saturn. A large screenshot showcases the game's impressive visuals. The section includes an interview with manager Oguchi, discussing the team's work, particularly on Sega Rally. Screenshots also feature other notable AM3 arcade titles ported or developed for Sega systems, including Funky Head Boxers, Baku Baku Animal, Manx TT Superbike, and the groundbreaking Cyber Troopers Virtualon. This page provides a detailed guide to the formidable advanced course, Lakeside, in Sega Rally Championship. Presented as a challenge only for winners, this guide aims to help players conquer the most difficult track in the game. The page features a clear map of the Lakeside circuit, marked with numbered points corresponding to numerous in-game screenshots. Each screenshot highlights a specific tricky section of the course, explaining the challenging turns, jumps, and technical maneuvers required. It emphasizes that mastering this course demands exceptional rally driving skills, far beyond those needed for typical racing games, testing the player's technique in every aspect of control, braking, and acceleration. Conquering Lakeside is presented as the ultimate goal for serious Sega Rally players. This page dives deep into the Sega Saturn port of Sega Rally Championship, specifically highlighting the highly anticipated Versus mode and showcasing several exciting features. Development of the Versus mode is progressing well, and the visuals are looking sharp, even in two-player split screen. The article explains how the Versus experience differs across the game's courses: beginner, intermediate, and advanced, offering varying challenges. Beyond the head-to-head racing, the game is set to include two brand new original modes, with one being a time lag mode, hinting at exciting new ways to play. A major feature detailed is the extensive machine settings option. Players can fine-tune various aspects of their car like transmission, handling, tires, and suspension across multiple levels, allowing for deep customization to suit different driving styles and courses. The Ghost mode is also introduced, enabling players to race against a ghost of their own best lap time, pushing them to improve. Finally, the replay feature for Time Attack is discussed, offering multiple camera angles, including cinematic views, making it great for analyzing runs and sharing impressive drives. There's also a mention of potential handicap options in Versus mode to balance competition. This page continues the deep dive into the Sega Saturn port of Sega Rally Championship, featuring more insights from the developers. They discuss the progress on the Versus mode, confirming its implementation, and the challenges of maintaining visual quality in split screen. The interview touches on the time lag mode, a new original mode for the Saturn version. The extensive car tuning options and the replay features for Time Attack are also reiterated as key elements. The other major feature on this page is the puzzle game Baku Baku Animal. Described as a falling block puzzle game in the vein of Tetris or Puyo Puyo, it features a unique animal theme where players feed animals to eliminate blocks. The Saturn version is highlighted as an arcade-perfect port with significant additions. Key modes include a story-driven arcade mode, a league battle mode where you compete against a roster of opponents, and a zookeeper training mode which tests your skills. The article notes the introduction of a new animal, the rat, in this version. Options for adjusting difficulty and the rate at which different animals appear are also mentioned, adding depth to the gameplay. The overall impression is positive, highlighting the game's addictive nature and the enhancements made for the Saturn release. This page continues the deep dive into Baku Baku Animal, offering advanced strategies for competitive play. It explains how to maximize chain reactions and provides tips for using the special BB coin item, which appears later in matches and clears large portions of the screen. The article also touches upon the game's training mode, detailing how to achieve the highest rank by mastering block clearing and chain combos. On the right side, we're introduced to Virtual On Cyber Troopers, a highly anticipated arcade port for the Sega Saturn. This robot combat game features stunning polygonal mechs known as Virtuoroids, designed by Hajime Katoki. The article highlights the intense 1v1 battles and the arcade-accurate gameplay experience, controlled with dual levers. Screenshots showcase the fast-paced action and the detailed robot models, including a large render of the iconic Temjin unit. It's presented as a faithful adaptation of the popular arcade title, bringing its unique robot fighting action home. This page delves deeper into the world of Virtual On Cyber Troopers, showcasing the intense Roboton robot combat that made the arcade game a hit. It highlights the unique anime-inspired designs of the Virtuoids and introduces the 8 playable mechs, ranging from the versatile Temjin and Speedy Viper 2 to the heavy-hitting Dorcas and ranged specialist Raiden. The article emphasizes the importance of mastering the dual-lever controls and the 6 fundamental actions, including dashing, strafing, jumping, and turning, which are crucial for navigating the 3D arenas and outmaneuvering opponents. Screenshots illustrate the fast-paced battles and the distinct appearances of the different Virtuoroids, reinforcing the game's appeal as a faithful arcade port focused on strategic movement and diverse character abilities. This page provides essential combat tips for Virtual On Cyber Troopers, starting with the crucial importance of mastering the dash. It explains how dashing is key for both offense and defense, allowing players to create distance with a backdash or quickly close in for attack opportunities, and even fake out opponents. The guide then covers the lock-on system, noting the crosshairs helps track enemies, but warns that successful hits aren't guaranteed simply by locking on, especially against skilled players who evade. It stresses that while useful, relying solely on lock-on is insufficient. Moving to close combat, the article highlights that melee can be decisive. Lighter Virtuoids excel at overwhelming opponents up close, while heavier types can deal massive damage with melee, but might be vulnerable getting in range. The key is adapting your strategy based on the situation and your Virtuoid's strengths. Finally, it strongly advises against unnecessary jumping, stating it leaves you exposed unless your Virtuoid has specific aerial control or you're using it for targeted harassment. The page features various screenshots illustrating these techniques, and the character select screen showcasing the diverse roster. This guide is crucial for players looking to move beyond button mashing and develop tactical skill in the arena. This page features interviews with developers from Sega's AM3 lab. On the left is an interview about the upcoming Virtual On Cyber Troopers. Developer Kaoruo Kawara discusses the game's near-complete status, the challenging balancing of Virtuoid parameters and weapon matchups, the unique control system, and the possibilities of a home console port, hinting they are working on something exciting only Sega could do. A large screenshot of a Virtual On battle is featured. On the right, the focus shifts to the comical boxing game Funky Head Boxers. This section details the simple yet deep controls, including basic movement, punches, and techniques like guarding, dodging, and unleashing special moves with specific commands. The article highlights mastering techniques like guarding and swaying is crucial for success. Screenshots show the exaggerated characters and ring action. An interview with producer Yoshiaki Akata reveals the game's concept, its use of STV arcade hardware sprite capabilities combined with polygonal heads for expressive characters, and their goal to create a game that makes players laugh. The large game logo is prominently displayed. This page focuses on Manx TT Superbike, a realistic motorcycle racing game from Sega's AM3 laboratory. The article highlights the game's emphasis on realistic bike physics and reactions, based on Sega's deep understanding of actual motorcycles, including features like engine vibration feedback and leaning mechanics. It notes the game is inspired by the historic Isle of Man TT race, and that the development team conducted real-world research on the island. The game features 2 courses: the challenging TT course, based on the real race route, and the more accessible Seaside course. Both were created using actual research and aim for an accurate atmosphere. Multiple screenshots showcase the detailed graphics and different camera angles. The page also includes an interview with AM3 producer Tetsuya Mizoguchi. He discusses the goal of creating the ultimate realistic bike game, comparing it to their previous work on games like Sega Rally. He emphasizes the difficulty in making realistic controls intuitive, and the importance of the research trips to the Isle of Man, where they took thousands of reference photos. He touches upon the challenge of condensing a real 60 km course into a game, and hints at further evolution in gameplay. Finally, there's a message directed at arcade operators, urging them to purchase the Manx TT cabinets, noting its presence at the AM show and its expected success. This page features an interview with Hisao Oguchi, the chief of Sega's AM3 lab. The main topics covered are the lab's current lineup and future prospects, notably addressing the possibility of a sequel to the popular mech fighting game, Virtua On. Oguchi discusses the design philosophy behind their games, particularly the concept of sensory experience, using Manx TT Superbike as a prime example, contrasting it with typical driving games. The page includes a large image of the Virtua On Temjin mech, alongside screenshots from various AM3 titles, such as Virtua On, Daytona USA, Funky Head Boxers, and Rail Chase 2. The interview touches upon the challenges and approaches to porting arcade games like Virtua On, Sega Rally, and Virtua Fighter 2 to the Sega Saturn, discussing graphical detail and playfeel adjustments. Oguchi also shares his views on the current state of the arcade scene, emphasizing the need for accessible games that anyone can easily enjoy. He expresses strong confidence in the potential for a Virtua On sequel, should it be decided. A small side panel introduces 2 staff members from the AM3 R&D department who assisted with the interview. This page features an exciting reader giveaway event, showcasing a haul of valuable goods from Sega's various AM labs. Prizes are categorized by lab, including items related to popular arcade hits. From AM1, you could win Indy 500 t-shirts, a large poster, or caps, perfect for fans of the high-speed racer. AM2 is offering postcards featuring Virtua Fighter Kids characters, Virtua Fighter 2 character keychains, a cool Virtua Cop windbreaker jacket, and a Sega calendar for 1996 featuring Virtua Fighter artwork. AM3 is giving away a custom poster for the Mech Battle Classic, Virtua Land. Additionally, there's a special bonus feature: custom CD jackets for the Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Series. These jackets, featuring renders of characters like Pai-chan and Akira Yuki, could be cut out from the page to customize your CD cases, giving them a unique Sega touch. This was a neat way to personalize your music or game collection with iconic characters. This page showcases stunning CG renders from the Virtua Fighter series, featuring Jackie Bryant and Sarah Bryant as part of the CG Portrait series, potentially linked to music or image collections like the song title section, which displays images related to Virtua Fighter and possibly a driving game, along with song titles. The main focus is the Conehead Club, a vibrant reader section where fans interact. Readers submit their thoughts, art, and questions, discussing the mysterious Cone Men and their return, sharing desires for games like Virtua Fighter 2, Sega Rally, Guardian Heroes, X-Men, and Darkstalkers, and commenting on Virtua Cop 2, connecting to the previous page's prize mention. The section also includes reader-submitted manga and artwork, highlighting the community's passion for Sega's titles. This page continues the vibrant reader interaction section, including more opinions and impressions from the October survey, with one reader specifically commenting on the appearance of Noriko. There's a fun segment questioning if readers notice the origins of character names, specifically mentioning Randy from Guardian Heroes and his link to magic, tying into the previous page's requests. A hobby magic research lab features illustrations related to magic themes. The free space showcases more reader art, including references to the Shining series and Tokimeki Memorial. The Welcome to Racing Games section highlights several classic racers, such as Hang On, F1 Live in Japan, Sega Rally Championship, Daytona USA Grand Chaser, and Race Drivin', reflecting the strong presence of racing titles on the platform, consistent with previous pages' discussions about Sega Rally. Other dedicated sections focus on popular games, like Battle Arena, to Shinden Gals, featuring character art and reader comments. There's also information on the Gundam Wing game and Sorcery Saga, Mahu Monogatari, for the Saturn, alongside mention of 3x3 Eyes. One passionate reader expresses strong opinions about the Gundam series across different platforms. This page delves into the future of gaming and publishing on the Sega Saturn, carrying the banner Saturn Spirit. The main focus is an interview discussing the path forward for next-generation publishers, specifically looking at the publishing industry's move into multimedia and the Saturn's role as a multimedia machine. This piece highlights the concept of multi-platform development, described as a necessary evil, and discusses the project Koto Monogatari, involving Sanshusha and CSK Research Institute, aiming to be a meta-publisher for the future. In the left column, Mega Drive History revisits classic titles, featuring an image possibly from the Sorcerian series, reflecting on past favorites. Below that, this month's Devil Summoner showcases art from the Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner series, a dark and intriguing RPG staple. A brief note provides instructions for reader submissions. The bottom section is dedicated to the reader presence, showcasing giveaways for fans. Prizes include items related to popular games and media like a Vivian Heishu clear case, posters for the Virtua Fighter anime, Quo Vadis, and an idol project, plus a limited t-shirt featuring Capcom vs. Marvel superheroes. This section also announces winners from a previous month's giveaway, acknowledging reader participation. This page continues the Saturn Spirit theme, leading with an interview discussing the future of multimedia content and the concept of a culture tower for publishing on the Sega Saturn. It reinforces the idea of the Saturn as more than just a game console, embracing diverse multimedia applications. The main focus is the announcement of unique features, exclusive to the Saturn version of a new multimedia title. This title is revealed to be a comprehensive fortune-telling package. It boasts a rich lineup covering multiple divination methods presented as a three-part series. Featured methods include name/personality judgment, Eastern astrology, and tarot. The screenshots show the input screens for names and dates, as well as the detailed results and interpretations provided by the software. It highlights the depth and variety of the content, aiming to offer a complete fortune-telling experience on the Saturn. Separately, a small note highlights another multimedia title, Ayrton Senna Personal Talk, which compiles memorable scenes and interviews related to the legendary Formula One driver. This shows the breadth of multimedia content being explored for the platform beyond just games and traditional applications. This page is dedicated to the readers, featuring a survey and a giveaway. Readers are encouraged to share their favorite games and provide feedback for a chance to win prizes. The survey delves into reader demographics like age, gender, occupation, and gaming platform ownership, alongside preferences for magazine content and opinions on recently released games. The giveaway offers exciting prizes for 10 lucky winners, including Sega Saturn titles such as Dragon Ball Z, Idainaru Dragon Ball Densetsu, Great Dragon Ball Legend, Virtua Fighter 2, Gunbird, Wild Arms, World Series Baseball, and Super Real Mahjong Graffiti. Detailed instructions are provided on how to fill out and send in the survey postcard, emphasizing the correct format for numbers and text to ensure smooth processing. The page also includes reference lists like the magazine's article index, a list of other gaming magazines, and a list of various game consoles. A significant portion is a comprehensive list of Sega Saturn, Super 32X, Mega Drive, and Mega CD games, serving as a handy guide. Finally, there's a small section outlining key aspects to consider when evaluating games, such as character animation, sound effects, gameplay, volume, difficulty, originality, and overall polish. This page serves as the official entry form for the Saturn Fan December issue reader giveaway and survey. It's designed to gather feedback directly from the fans, starting with basic demographic details like school, age, and gender. Readers are also prompted to rank their favorite games or desired giveaway prizes. The core of the feedback section is the game performance table, where players can rate numerous Sega Saturn titles based on various gameplay and presentation aspects. The list features a solid lineup, including classics like Puyo Puyo 2 and Virtua Fighter, racing titles such as Hang-On Jeep 95 and Sega International Victory Goal, and simulation games like Princess Maker 2. There's also a selection of licensed games like Justice League, Judge Dredd, and Batman Forever, giving insight into what resonated with the readers at the time. This detailed form allows the magazine to understand its audience and their opinions on the latest Saturn hits, directly informing future content and prize selections. This page features a special report from the Game Research Institute, highlighting key Sega Saturn titles. The main focus is on Sega International Victory Goal, providing essential techniques and comprehensive player data. The magazine explains that while the game is enjoyable, the fictional player names make it difficult to judge their abilities without this detailed data, which covers stats like speed, dribble, offensive and defensive awareness, tactics, and positioning. The report delves into recommended controls, specifically suggesting manual control for the goalkeeper and highlighting the utility of Type 3 controls, noting the importance of the A button for through passes and the B button for ground shots. It even details a specific technique for executing the strongest corner kick. Beyond Victory Goal, the page also briefly mentions coverage of World Advanced Strategy and Suikoden imbued in upcoming sections, positioning this as the start of a deep dive into several high-density game releases. The extensive player data tables for teams like Argentina, Denmark, Brazil, and England are central to understanding the game's strategy layer, offering players the information needed to build effective tactics. This page continues the in-depth player data analysis for Sega International Victory Goal, following on from the teams covered previously. Here, you'll find comprehensive statistical breakdowns for players representing France, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain, Germany, Japan, Romania, and South Korea. Each team's roster includes player names, fictional, as noted before, jersey numbers, and key attributes such as shot power, dribbling ability, speed, stamina, offensive and defensive awareness, tactical understanding, positioning, and judgment. This essential data allows players to delve deep into team composition, identifying key strengths and weaknesses to inform their strategic approach and team selection, overcoming the limitation of not recognizing players by real-world names. This page delves into the data for World Advanced Tactics Iron Steel Battlewind, presented as Game Research Special File Number 13 and Great Strategy Data Part 2. Following up on previous data, this section focuses on the Japanese and Soviet forces. You'll find a detailed evolution chart for the Japanese Army, illustrating the upgrade paths for various units like tanks and aircraft. This chart is crucial for planning strategic development within the game. Below this, comprehensive tables list the units and weapons available to the Soviet forces. These tables provide vital statistics including movement, fuel, reconnaissance, attack, and defense ratings against different target types, payload, costs, and weapon details, offering players deep insight into the capabilities of each Soviet unit. This page features guides for two distinct games. On the left, Research File Number 14 covers Suiko and Bu, a fighting game, dives into mastering the secret techniques available in the game's special mode. This section provides the conditions required to execute these powerful moves and lists the command inputs for various characters, serving as a comprehensive guide for players looking to unleash their full potential in combat. On the right, the strategy coverage for World Advanced Tactics Iron Steel Battlewind continues. This part focuses on how players can reach different endings in the game, explaining that the outcomes of battles determine the branching path of the campaign. Detailed scenario branch charts for Germany, Japan, and America are presented, illustrating how victories, losses, or draws in specific operations lead the player down different historical or alternate timelines. The guide also offers advice on the final battle stages, noting the difficulty even when focusing solely on defense. This page continues the in-depth strategy guide for World Advanced Tactics Iron Steel Battlewind. It focuses on three specific historical scenarios players will face in the game. First up is the Falaise Pocket, where the advice is to concentrate Allied forces landing from 2 points to destroy enemy units one by one, a basic tactical approach. The second scenario covered is the Battle of the Ardennes, noted for its wide map presenting numerous challenges right from the start. Unlike the initial blitzkrieg phases, it highlights specific enemy units to be wary of. Finally, the German homeland defense battle scenario pits players against a powerful Soviet tank advance, suggesting defensive tactics like destroying bridges to delay the enemy before a counterattack. This section mentions that many ultimate weapons become available and recommends key units. The page features map screenshots for each battle, illustrating the terrain and unit placements, along with detailed profiles and stats for recommended or dangerous units. This page continues the deep dive strategy guide for World Advanced Tactics Iron Steel Battlewind. It covers 4 more pivotal historical scenarios. The guide kicks off with the India invasion operation, detailing the push into India and the focus on the British fleet, targeting Ceylon and the mainland. Key advice here is to destroy enemy HQs quickly, leveraging the numerous airfields and Type 2 flying boats. Next is the Kikusui No. 1 operation, centered on pursuing Allied forces in Okinawa. The strategy emphasizes breaking through with the remaining fleet, especially the Yamato, and highlights this as a battle of endurance, recommending aircraft carriers for attack despite difficult flight conditions. Scenario 6. The Okinawa mainland defense battle is presented as a potentially favorable situation if the previous battle was successful. The guide suggests using remaining fleet units to support ground forces, advising reinforcement and attack on the central enemy HQ. A section lists several units to watch out for. Finally, the Okinawa mainland decisive battle is described as a highly disadvantageous map with a lack of friendly naval support. The critical point is defending the central HQ against thick enemy fortifications, suggesting a slow, methodical push. The guide also features a specific anti-air tank profile and recommends certain aircraft units. A detailed section explores fighting in this challenging Okinawa environment, stressing the importance of the central defense line and utilizing supply ships for infantry support. The page is filled with map layouts and unit stat screenshots illustrating the points. This page offers an in-depth strategy guide for Princess Maker 2 on the Sega Saturn, aiming to help players unlock all of the game's over 70 endings. It emphasizes the importance of effectively raising your daughter's parameters over the 8 years. The guide covers various methods, such as warrior training in different regions, which can lead to battles with monsters, and the acquisition of valuable items and parameter boosts. It also touches on the game's random events, noting that not all are beneficial, and some can negatively impact stats, though others like birthdays provide positive boosts. Key annual events in October are highlighted as vital opportunities for growth, including the martial arts tournament, arts festival, dance party, and cooking contest, offering significant rewards and parameter increases. The page also mentions finding and defeating fairies for additional gains. A special point is made about an exclusive event in the Sega Saturn version, featuring an unexpected appearance by Sonic the Hedgehog, adding a unique challenge. Mastering these elements is crucial for steering your daughter towards a specific ending. This page continues the deep dive into mastering Princess Maker 2, focusing specifically on achieving all the different endings available in the game. It breaks down the multitude of possible outcomes into distinct types, such as warrior, magic, social, art, housekeeping, dark, and even a versatile all-around type, offering strategic guidance on how to steer your daughter towards each category. The guide explains that reaching a specific ending depends heavily on which of the 4 main evaluation scores, battle, magic, social, housekeeping, is highest, along with core stats and technical skills. It details key parameters required for various professional endings within each type. For instance, the warrior type favors high battle evaluation and related skills like combat technique and defense, while the magic type needs high magic evaluation and magic technique. The page is adorned with beautiful character illustrations depicting various professions or ending types, from a general and sorceress to an artist and a judge. The central figure is the main daughter character herself in an elegant dress, representing the potential outcomes. It also features tables outlining ending types, their relative difficulty or rank, and the crucial parameters needed to unlock them. This is essential reading for anyone aiming to unlock every possibility for their daughter's future, building upon the foundational parameter management discussed previously. This page dives into the world of J.League, a deep simulation game where you build and manage your own J.League soccer club from the ground up. The core objective is to lead your team to the top of the league and dominate Japanese soccer. Success hinges on your strategic acumen as the manager, dictating everything from team tactics and matches to long-term club management. The game emphasizes tactical depth, offering various strategies like normal, attacking, defending, counter, and zone press, plus crucial player substitutions during the match. Outside of the game, the comprehensive management mode allows you to analyze vast amounts of data in the data room, covering everything from match records and club finances to opponent information and home ground specifics. This data is vital for informed decision-making and improving your club. You're even aided by a capable secretary who provides support and advice. Beyond the standard J.League season, the game features several distinct cup competitions like the New Year Cup, Challenge League, Crystal Cup, and Platinum Cup, offering different challenges and opportunities for glory. The game also includes a password system, allowing players to share their created teams and challenge each other in versus matches, making it a robust simulation for any soccer fan. Screenshots illustrate the match engine with tactical overlays and the detailed menu screens for management tasks. This page shifts gears to the high-speed world of Toge King the Spirits, a polygon racer for the Sega Saturn that puts you behind the wheel on realistic mountain pass courses. The focus here is on challenging fierce battles and mastering the winding tracks inspired by real-world locations. The game offers depth beyond just racing, featuring a comprehensive tuning system that allows players to customize engine parts, suspension, brakes, and tires to build their own unique machine tailored for speed and handling. There are various cars to choose from, each with different specs, and even a hidden seventh car hinted at. Players can dive into 3 distinct battle modes: the single-player King Battle, where you challenge 36 rivals, the competitive 2-player versus battle with split-screen action, and the classic time trial to push your limits against the clock. Screenshots showcase the polygonal graphics, the variety in car models, the tuning interface, and the challenging course layouts, emphasizing the strategic elements of navigating sharp corners and steep gradients. The magazine provides advice on braking techniques and using gear changes effectively to dominate the mountain passes. This page features the return of the legendary Fist of the North Star series on the Sega Saturn. The game brings the world of Hokuto Shinken to life with a blend of intense battles and an all-new story mode. The core of the game is its battle system, which utilizes various gauges, including life, technique, spirit, and aura. Combat appears to be command-based, where players select techniques using a cursor system and build up their spirit and aura to unleash devastating moves. Timing and strategic use of these gauges are crucial for victory. The system emphasizes the importance of reading the opponent and effectively using techniques and defensive maneuvers. Beyond the battles, a significant part of the experience is the story mode. This mode presents a unique scenario created specifically for the game, set after Kenshiro's battle with Kaio. The narrative kicks off with the kidnapping of Jalen, drawing Kenshiro into a new conflict against mysterious foes like Jado and the Army of the Dark Hokuto. Screenshots show key story moments featuring classic characters and new adversaries. A developer interview sheds light on the creation process, highlighting their efforts to capture the essence of the anime while crafting a fresh story. They discuss the challenges of adapting the series and developing the battle system to reflect the power and drama of Fist of the North Star. The developers aim to create a game that feels authentic to fans while offering compelling gameplay. This page dives into the Sega Saturn port of the arcade vertical shooter, Gunbird. The game is highlighted as a faithful adaptation, bringing the arcade experience home with added features. The Saturn version enhances the original with new movies, voice acting, and bonus illustrations, taking advantage of the Cledrom format. Players can choose between different display modes, including a vertical mode that mimics the arcade screen orientation. Gunbird features a colorful cast of characters, each with their own unique abilities and personalities. The page introduces the 5 playable heroes: Ash, a scholarly adventurer; Marion, a young witch; Valnus, a robotic soldier; Yanyang, a martial artist; and Tetsu, an elderly strongman. It also presents the main antagonists, the Trump Group, consisting of Ace, Rouge, and Claude, who stand in the hero's way. Beyond the main game, the port includes an illustration gallery showcasing numerous artworks and a character index with voice samples and profiles for both the playable characters and the villains. The game supports 2-player cooperative play, allowing friends to tackle the challenge together. The content emphasizes the high quality of the port and the value added by the bonus materials. This page introduces 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles. First up is Bug, a vibrant 3D scrolling action game where you control the titular character, Bug, on a quest to rescue captured friends. The gameplay emphasizes jumping, shooting, and navigating environments with depth, not just left to right movement. You'll encounter various enemies across different areas, like Insectia, Reptilia, and Sploot, culminating in dynamic boss battles. The second game featured is Papara Poom, a unique puzzle experience centered around throwing, pushing, and dropping blocks. Unlike traditional falling block games, this one features characters on the playing field who interact with the blocks, adding an action element to the puzzle solving. The goal is to clear blocks by matching colors or types, leading to chains and strategic play. The game supports 2 players, adding a competitive edge to the block manipulating action. The content suggests the game offers a fresh take on the puzzle genre with its interactive character system. This page features 2 distinct Sega Saturn titles offering contrasting experiences. First, we have Rayman, a vibrant 2D platformer known for its unique protagonist with detached limbs, allowing for expressive animations. The game boasts beautiful, diverse environments across 6 stages, tasking players with rescuing creatures called Electoons, and utilizing various abilities like punching, hanging, and even planting flowers. The level design includes branching paths and hidden areas, encouraging exploration. Next is Off-World Interceptor Extreme, a 3D vehicular combat shooter. Players control a heavily armed 4-wheel vehicle on lawless planets, engaging in fast-paced shooting action. The game features different camera perspectives, including behind the vehicle and a cockpit view, and a system for upgrading your vehicle with money earned by defeating enemies. Multiple modes are available, including a story mode to conquer planets, an arcade mode focused on survival, and a battle mode for competitive play, offering plenty of replayability. This page features 2 baseball games for the Sega Saturn, offering different experiences for fans of the sport. On the left is World Series Baseball, which brings realistic Major League Baseball simulation to the console. It focuses on accurately representing teams, players, stadiums, and the overall gameplay feel of the American League. Features include a full 162-game season mode and highly detailed renditions of famous ballparks. On the right is Jikyu Pro Yakyu 95 Doubleheader, a game centered on Japanese professional baseball. A key highlight is the live play-by-play commentary provided by well-known Japanese announcers, creating an immersive atmosphere. It includes player data from the 1994 season and offers various game modes such as pennant races and open battles. The game also features unique camera perspectives for offense and defense, as well as a split-screen view for head-to-head play. Additionally, it includes original teams for players to compete with. This page showcases 2 distinct gaming experiences for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Hat-Trick Hero, a faithful port of the popular arcade soccer game, enhanced with new content. Beyond the arcade mode, it introduces Exhibition and a World League mode, expanding the gameplay options. The game retains its signature easy controls and exciting action, emphasizing fast-paced play and powerful super plays like hypershots, while also featuring special ace players who can significantly boost your team's capabilities. On the right, we have Super Real Mahjong Graffiti, a collection that traces the evolution of the Super Real Mahjong series. This Cradrom gathers titles from P2 through PIV, previously scattered across multiple releases. It highlights the series' progression in graphics and presentation, particularly focusing on the transition from the 1988 release of P2I with its improved visuals to PIV, which boasted even more detailed animations. The page introduces key characters from P2I and PIV, showcasing their distinct designs. Notably, it focuses on the series' characteristic 2-player Mahjong gameplay, a staple of the Super Real Mahjong titles. This page presents 2 intriguing adventure titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Stroll, a full animation adventure game where you play as Alexius Horkfield. Your mission is to collect 7 crystals to give life to empty space and evolve the world. The game emphasizes interacting with on-screen prompts using simple directional and button inputs, with action elements like sword combat integrated into the adventure gameplay. The visuals are highlighted by full animation sequences, depicting Alexius journeying through various worlds like the Dream World, facing a light warrior, and battling a golem. The path you take and the order you clear stages determine one of the 48 possible multi-endings. On the right is the Psychotron, a spy adventure game originally released on IBM PC and now ported to the Saturn. You take on the role of a CIA agent investigating a conspiracy surrounding a brainwashing weapon called the Psychotron, developed by the former Soviet Union. The game is set in America and features investigation, exploration, and key interactions through conversation choices, which influence your progress and score. You'll gather information by interviewing suspects and witnesses, search locations like a CIA office, and even engage in minigames like poker as part of the investigation process. The game utilizes voice acting and FMV scenes to drive the narrative forward. This page features 2 distinct shogi titles for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Kanazawa Shogi, touted as the strongest shogi software created by the developer of a computer shogi champion program. It offers a robust shogi experience with 3 main game modes catering to players from beginner to advanced levels, featuring 6 different AI strength settings. Players can challenge the computer with various handicaps, allowing for more balanced or challenging matches. A notable feature is the ability to specify the computer's opening strategy, offering a unique way to practice against specific playstyles. On the right is Strategy Shogi, which takes a novel approach to the classic game by utilizing polygons. This allows players to view the shogi board from multiple perspectives, moving beyond the traditional top-down view and focusing on the visual flow of the pieces. The game includes 4 modes: Standard Match, Free Match with customizable rules and handicaps, a Promotion Battle mode where players must defeat a series of opponents, and a Record Room to save and review past games. It emphasizes watching the pieces move, offering a different visual and strategic feel to shogi. This page is dedicated to Hyper Ultech, a collection of advanced techniques and helpful tips for navigating the challenges in various Sega Saturn titles. The section highlights secret moves, unlockable modes, and clever shortcuts to enhance gameplay. Featured tips include accessing all visuals in the Golf Simulation Masters 96, Haruka Naru Augusta, using magic freely without consuming MP in the action, RPG, Magic Knight Ray Earth, and easily defeating opponents in the fighting game Metal Fighter Miku. For the wrestling title Blazing Tornado, players learn how to unlock and use the formidable final boss Ludwig and perform his signature special move, as well as enabling infinite continues. Strategy game fans get tips like watching combat animations only during their turn in World Advanced Daisen Ryaku, and unlocking hidden scenarios in Nobunaga's Ambition. Iron Triangle. The Twin Bee Yahoo! Deluxe Pack offers secrets like a stage select and an auto power-up feature. Finally, the page reveals how to unlock new art and voices in Tenchi Muyo, Ryuki Gokuraku Xeidram, and how to enable continues and unlock battle modes against the final boss in the Mahjong game Mahjong Junshi Po Po Poemi. Each technique is ranked based on its usefulness and interest, encouraging readers to submit their own findings. This page showcases a variety of Game Gear and Mega Drive titles perfect for enjoying the long autumn nights. This page features a selection of games for Sega's handheld Game Gear and the Mega Drive console. For the Game Gear, we see Ninku Gaiden Hiroyuki Daikatsugeki, an action puzzle game based on the popular manga, featuring the protagonist Hiroyuki and a peculiar penguin. It is also J.League Soccer, Dream 11, a simulation offering various modes like league and cup play, and even communication matches. Fans of board games can enjoy Super Momotaro Dentetsu 2 Eyes, where players travel across Japan buying properties to become the wealthiest. Finally, Hideo Nomo World Series Baseball offers a baseball simulation featuring the famous pitcher, with different camera viewpoints available. On the Mega Drive side, the page highlights Batman Forever, a side-scrolling action game where you control Batman or Robin to take down Two-Face and the Riddler, emphasizing flashy moves and character selection. For boxing enthusiasts, Foreman for Real puts you in the ring against, or as George Foreman, focusing on realistic boxing action and multiple camera perspectives during matches. The selection covers diverse genres, offering something for every type of player. This page features a special report highlighting Virgin Interactive Entertainment based in the UK, discussing their approach to game development, and showcasing titles like Heart of Darkness. The page previews 3 upcoming Sega Saturn games. First up is G-Bockers, presented as a competitive 3D mech shooting game focused on player versus player battles with various weapon options. Following that is 3x3 Eyes, Kyusei Hime, an adventure game adaptation of the popular manga series featuring animated cutscenes and an original story with voice acting. Finally, Tenchi Muyo, Ryuki Yukemuri no Tabi, is detailed as an adventure game based on the Tenchi Muyo anime, following the characters on a hot spring trip and introducing new faces to the series universe within the game. Screenshots accompany each preview, offering a look at the distinct visual styles and gameplay elements of these diverse titles for the Saturn. Several Sega Saturn games were previewed, spanning diverse genres. Cinderella Bunny Premiere is a dating sim with voice acting and animated cutscenes. Raid Athletic Meet is a futuristic simulation game focusing on training athletes. Magical Drop brings competitive arcade puzzle action home, while Memories of Sunburn plus Haimakuri offers jigsaw puzzles using real-world photos and animations. Bomberman SS promises classic bomb-laying action. Hiroki Matsukata's World Fishing is a fishing sim featuring CG and live-action footage. Creature Shock, a 3D shooting game, has players battling grotesque creatures in space. Finally, FIDA Remake, Emblem of Justice, is a tactical RPG remake with updated graphics, character designs, and voice acting. This page gives us a look at several upcoming Sega Saturn titles. We see classics like NBA Jam Tournament Edition, bringing its signature exaggerated arcade basketball action and turbo dunks to the console with multiplayer support. There's also The Horde, a unique strategy game where you defend your territory from invading creatures while building up your kingdom. The combat looks like it shifts between strategy and action. For golf fans, the Hyper Golf Devil's Course offers realistic golf, with special hypershots and screenshots showing some wild course designs. Other previews include RoboPit, a 3D fighting game focused on customizing your own robot from various parts. Kaitei Dai Sensu, an intense horizontal scrolling shooter set underwater that looks like a strong arcade port. There's also DX Jinsei Game, a digital adaptation of the classic Japanese Game of Life board game, promising lots of life events. Finally, Bakushu, All Yoshimoto Quiz King Kedaisen DX, is a quiz game featuring popular Yoshimoto comedians. And Father Christmas appears to be an educational title based on an illustrated story. These previews show a diverse range of genres coming to the Saturn. This page previews several upcoming titles. Kicking things off is X-Men, a fighting game based on the popular comic series, showcasing intense mutant battles in its screenshots. Next up is Fishing Koshien, a fishing simulation that puts you in the shoes of a high school angler. There's also a section highlighting news from various publishers, teasing a range of genres including sports, puzzle games, RPGs, interactive movies, and even romance simulations, showing the breadth of upcoming releases. A prominent feature is Fortune City Story, a visual novel or adventure game focusing on human relationships and fortune-telling. It depicts character interactions, including the rivalry between two girls, and hints at the use of tarot cards and the appearance of a mysterious figure. We also see PD Ultraman Link, which appears to be a puzzle game featuring the iconic Ultraman characters, requiring players to match colored blocks. Finally, there's a brief mention of upcoming titles for the Mega Drive, including Alien 3 and Madu Monogatari. The page concludes with advertisements for Fortune City Story across multiple platforms. This page highlights World Fishing, a fishing simulation game for the Sega Saturn, presented by Hiroki Matsukata. The striking image of a marlin sets the tone for this realistic fishing experience. Supervised by the Japan Game Fish Association, JGFA, and featuring Hiroki Matsukata, the game boasts actual location footage blended with detailed polygon graphics. Players can freely choose their fishing spots in the vast ocean and carefully select their tackle and lures, which significantly impacts their success. The game emphasizes the thrilling fight against large fish like marlin and black bass, even syncing with live-action footage of Mr. Matsukata during the fight sequences. It's designed to capture the excitement and realism of big game fishing. The game was scheduled for release in January 1996, with a provisional price of 5,800 yen. It is published by Mitsui & Company, Limited, and sold in cooperation with MediaQuest. This page features two very different Sega Saturn games from Sunsoft. On the left, we have Galaxy Fight, Universal Warriors, a fighting game characterized by its dynamic characters and sci-fi setting. The ad highlights its user-friendly controls, assuring newcomers that even special moves are easy to execute thanks to a simplified command input mode. The dash and backstep maneuvers are emphasized as crucial for tactical play. Several screenshots showcase the diverse character designs and combat scenarios. The game was set to release on November 22nd for 5,800 yen. There's also a campaign offering various prizes to celebrate its launch. On the right, the page promotes Ochan's Picross puzzle game. This title is presented with a major campaign offering a chance to win a trip to Disneyland in California, among other prizes like a bicycle and a Sony minidisc player. The game itself is a Picross or nonogram-style puzzle game featuring the adorable cat character, Ochan. It includes various game modes, such as a story mode, competitive mode, random puzzles, and an expert mode with increasing difficulty, promising plenty of content for puzzle fans. The game was scheduled for release slightly earlier, on November 17th, priced at 4,900 yen. Both games are published by Sunsoft. This page showcases two distinct gaming experiences. On the left we find Strawl, Legend of 48 for the Sega Saturn, presented as a full animation interactive movie game. It promises a real-time cinematic experience with a remarkable 48 potential endings that change based on the player's choices and skill level. The story follows Alex as he embarks on a quest involving 7 crystals and trials that could lead to him becoming a god. The game boasts a voice cast featuring several prominent Japanese voice actors. Strawl was scheduled for release on November 24th for 4,800 yen. On the right, we have Wizard's Harmony, a fantasy racing simulation and adventure game developed by Arc System Works. This title was set for a simultaneous New Year release on both PlayStation and Sega Saturn for 4,900 yen. The artwork features a cast of colorful anime characters, including a main protagonist surrounded by smaller creatures, some appearing to be companions obtained via a claw machine. The game is described as a hybrid Soda Venta game, combining racing simulation and adventure elements. It highlights the involvement of Keiko Inoue, who provides the voice for the character Cynthia and sings the game's opening and ending themes. Arc System Works also mentions their website and Arc Times online content. This page features 2 distinct simulation games for the Sega Saturn. On the left is Princess Maker 2, presented as the pinnacle of Japanese racing simulations. The page showcases the game's iconic daughter character, highlighting its high-quality graphics and featuring over 100 characters brought to life by a luxurious voice cast. Screenshots provide a glimpse into the game's interface and events. Princess Maker 2 is advertised as being on sale now for 7,800 yen with a special first press bonus. It also notes that the 3D version of the game was set to be released on December 9, 1995. The right side introduces a new marriage simulation game from Headroom and Shogakukan Production, aptly titled Kekkon. The game is described as a new sensation simulation game that allows players to experience life leading up to and through marriage, starting from encounters, dating, engagements, and potentially even divorce, with numerous events awaiting the player. It features a dual user system designed for enjoyment by both men and women, and boasts a cast of 10 popular voice actors. The game was scheduled for release in December 1995 for 6,800 yen. There is also mention of a special pre-release character disc titled Night Before Marriage, available for 2,000 yen. The page includes illustrations of several key characters and small gameplay screenshots. Future-related releases like an illustration book/strategy guide and an original anime series are also planned. This page features an advertisement for the Sega Saturn simulation game, Tadaima Wakusei Kaitakuchu. This charming title is a planet development simulation with territory-taking elements, featuring distinctive robot and creature designs. It's highlighted as being highly praised and is currently on sale for 5,800 yen. There's also a unique promotional campaign, offering purchasers the chance to have a star in the night sky named after them. The other half of the page is an advert for the Tokyo Game Designer Academy. This school is recruiting students for various programs, including game design, art, sound, and scenario writing. They showcase successful graduates and provide information on upcoming open campus events. This page showcases the latest volume of the Sega-supervised Saturn Magazine, Saturn Fan Volume 3. Releasing November 8th, this issue is packed with content you won't want to miss, including a special feature on the latest opening CG sequences from upcoming games. It notably includes trial software for 5 exciting Saturn titles: the arcade port Virtua Cop, the dark RPG Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner, the strategic Quo Vadis, the simulation game Theme Park, and the tactical RPG FIDA Remake. The magazine itself is priced at 1,600 yen, and also features developer interviews and other exclusive content. There's even a chance to win a copy of Shin Megami Tensei, Devil Summoner. The other half of the page is an advertisement for the Amusement Media Academy, encouraging aspiring creators to take the first step toward their dreams. This school offers various programs in game creation, CG animation, voice acting, comics, and novels, supporting students in achieving their professional goals. They list information sessions for prospective students. This page presents a comprehensive release calendar for Sega platforms, primarily focusing on the Sega Saturn, but also covering upcoming Mega Drive/Mega CD/Super 32X and Game Gear titles. The Sega Saturn calendar lists anticipated releases for November and December, featuring a mix of genres. November brings titles like the arcade fighter Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Collection, the simulation game Theme Park, and the highly anticipated Rayman. December looks equally exciting, with NBA Jam Tournament Edition, the puzzle action game Clockwork Knight 2, and the strategic title Hatsuhiro Heroes. There's also a large section detailing games with undecided release dates, indicating many more projects are in development for the Saturn. The Mega Drive/Mega CD Super 32X and Game Gear sections provide shorter lists of upcoming games, including titles like the puzzle game Baku Baku Animal and the strategy game Lunar. The Silver Star for Game Gear. The editor's note reflects on the magazine's first anniversary, expressing gratitude to readers and highlighting upcoming features, likely building on the content previewed in previous issues like the trial software mentioned on the last page. It specifically teases a major feature on Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Collection. Finally, there's an announcement for the next issue's release date and contents, highlighting special anniversary features. This page features a large advertisement for Dragon Ball Z Shin Butoden on the Sega Saturn. The spread prominently displays Super Saiyan Goku on the left, declaring that 27 Super Warriors are waiting on the true battlefield. The right side showcases artwork of iconic characters such as Goku, Vegeta, Majin Buu, and Hercule Satan, alongside screenshots of the game's character select screen and intense fighting action. Key features highlighted include the game's large roster of 27 playable characters, the innovative dual-screen battle system, and dynamic background changes during fights. The ad also mentions various battle modes like one-on-one, free battle, and group battle, as well as a unique Mr. Satan mode. Dragon Ball Z Shin Butoden, a competitive fighting action game, was scheduled for release in early to mid-November.